Hello back again. That was a sudden end of my number 6 talk. Pressed the button too early. Anyway, if you are in the police station after something happened and the police tries to pressure you into making a statement, they can become pretty provocative. And actually, while the law in most democratic countries gives very strict rules and boundaries on what the police can do and cannot do, the police has much exercise and is very trained to use those boundaries to their utmost advantage. And to their utmost advantage in such a case reads, they want to have a statement of you, and they want your statement, hopefully before the lawyer arrives. Remember, everything you say can and will be used against you. While, as far as I know, they tell this in express way only in the USA to you, it is more or less true in most countries I know of. So the last thing you want to do is actually make a statement before your lawyer arrives. Now, imagine you are there, probably late at night, perhaps not completely sober. You have had a violent encounter. You are under stress, very much stress. You want to go home, you are tired, and there is that police officer telling you all kind of things, yelling at you, playing the typical bad cop game. And then perhaps the good cop comes along and say, all you need to do is give a statement of what went on and then you can go home. Which may or may not be true, you shouldn't count on it. Actually, you should count on staying in the police station all night long and wait until 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning until your lawyer arrives. You know that intellectually. But you actually have to have the resource to sit that through and not give a statement. Most legislation demand of you that you give your name and your address. A bit like what you see in war movies when the hero says, Lieutenant Brian Smith, number X071117. Birthday, blah blah blah. And repeats that over and over again. Basically, you are in the same situation, only you have to give your name. So, my name is Mumble Mumble Mumble. My address is Mumble Mumble Mumble. I have been born on Mumble Mumble Mumble. I want to talk to my lawyer. Afterwards you can say, you know my identity, I do want to talk to my lawyer, and for most of the part you should simply remain silent. Well, that is easy said, it is difficultly done. I have mentioned it, I do know some cops, I'm befriended with them, and every now and then, when we were younger, means when I was younger, we had a little game going on. They played interrogation. I asked them to. So they did to me what they normally do to somebody whom they question. And as a matter of fact, after half an hour, most people feel an overwhelming need to talk. Actually, seasoned criminals are much better at simply sitting there silent. So the seasoned criminal might actually get away, whereas the ordinary citizen might end up with all the trouble. That's no good. Meditation, especially an easy meditation, helps you along there. So, if you do some complex ninja Koji Ikiri thing, you may bet that the police finds a way to interrupt your routine. But they can hardly interrupt your breathing, because if so, you would either be dead, or you could shoo them afterwards for pretty thing, anything you could imagine. So they wouldn't do that. So, if you internally focus on your breath, and are good at it, you can get through such a night until your lawyer arrives, and you are then still sane enough to give your lawyer a more or less accurate account of what transpired. So, meditation is good to counter post-traumatic stress syndrome, and it is good to keep you calm and operational under stress situations. If you have solid practice, if you have the attributes, in other words, if you have developed the gung fu of meditation, so to speak. Now, I will simply give you an example of how that can be done. You take For formal practice, you do take a formal position. For martial artists, I recommend you take the position you use for pole standing practice. If you don't use any pole standing practice, look it up in YouTube, it is highly recommendable. And then what you do, you simply rest your attention on the air streaming in and out of your nose. Just that. And whenever you feel that you are thinking something, telling something to yourselves, are lost in dreams, images, just return. Don't scold yourselves, done nothing. Just return and return and return the attention. Sooner or later you will notice that you find it easier and easier to rest your attention on the stream of air going in and out of your nose. That is the time when you should start practicing it while you do other everyday things. Not car driving or something, because if you are good at it, you might forget about the car. But if you go on foot from A to B, or if you wash the dishes and stuff, you shouldn't do it actually if your wife is talking to you, because wives don't like it if they have the impression that you are not listening, and they have a 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th sense for this, and you don't want to antagonize your wife. So if you can do it, and it does not have severe consequences if your attention goes away from what you are doing, focus on that. So while doing walks, making garden works, whatever. And you should also be able to focus your attention on the breath going in and out of your nose if you don't have your preferred position when lying down, when sitting, because then you can use it in many situations. And that is only primer, and for starters you can do much more with it, but this is not a meditation channel primarily, it is a martial arts channel. So I won't go into how to use meditation to actually switch from a totally peaceful mood in a total aggressive, I'm going to completely waltz over you, kill you, destroy you mode. It can be done. It is not so difficult, but actually there are other things that I want to talk about, and to go into the I will destroy you mode, you do not necessarily need meditation, but into the I calm myself down and get back into a normal operational mode, you can use meditation. So if an attack on you happened, you hopefully down the thug and have to assess the situation to decide what you do next. Solid practice in meditation helps you to clear your mind fast. So obviously you have to do that beforehand. Meditation in that respect works like martial arts training. If after the effect you take martial arts training and afterwards know what you should have done, that doesn't undo the teeth, the maiming, the injury, whatever happened to you. So you should do that training before the effect. And like they say, you need 6 to 9 months before a boxer is ready for the ring if he starts this training, and 6 to 9 months before you have a solid basis in self-defense. About roughly the same figure is true in my experience for meditation. If you practice 6 to 9 months while you do not have Satori and are not a Zen monk, it is enough so that you have built up a solid resilience against stress. And like I say, you don't have to, quote, waste time, unquote, because you can do it while doing pole standing meditation, as long as it does not interfere with the way you should focus your attention while doing so. Thank you for listening. That was it for the day, I think. Be blessed, stay safe, practice hard.